Welcome to today's 5-minute Bible study in the book of Joshua. We're still in chapter 2. Now remember, the spies that Joshua sent have entered Jericho. Just kind of see how things are. They're preparing to take the city. But the king heard of their coming. His intelligence reported these two strangers he thought were probably Israelites, so he sends to take them into custody. But Rahab, in whose house they are staying, hides the spies and protects them. She has come to realize that the God of Israel, He is God. And so she makes a bargain with the Israelites that when you take the city, please protect me and my family because I have protected you. They agree to the bargain. And then she helps them escape. Notice in verse 19 it says, "So she, Rahab, let them down by a rope through the window, for the house she lived in was part of the city wall. And she said to them, 'Go to the hills, so that the pursuers will not find you. Hide yourselves for 3 days until they return. Then go on your way.' Now the men had said to her, 'This oath you made us swear will not be binding on us, unless, when we enter the land, you have tied this scarlet cord in the window through which you let us down, and unless you have brought your father and your mother, your brothers, and all your family into your house.'" In other words, they gave her a sign. She would have all her family in her home, and they gave her a scarlet cord she would tie it in the window. That would be the identifying sign, and the Israelites would protect that home. This is the agreement they made. She said, verse 21, "Agreed, let it be as you say." So they went their way, they departed, and she tied the scarlet cord in the window. Now when they left, they went to the hills, and they stayed there for 3 days until the pursuers had searched all along the road and returned without finding them. And they started back. They went out of the hills, they forded the river, and they came to Joshua and told him all that had happened to them. So the spies returned to the Israelite camp on the east side of the Jordan and report to Joshua everything. But notice how the chapter ends. This is important. Verse 24. They, that is the spies, said to Joshua, "The Lord has surely given the whole land into our hands. All the people are melting in fear because of us." The faith of the spies had increased exponentially when they realized that the fear of God had fallen on all the citizens of Jericho. They know that God has prepared the way for them. And they report that back to Joshua. And everyone's faith is increased. How different this is from 40 years before, when Moses had sent the 12 spies out. 10 of them had come back with reports, "We cannot take the land," and had caused the people to disbelieve. Of those 12 spies, only 2, Joshua and Caleb, had trusted in the Lord. But now, the 2 spies come back. Their faith has increased. God has already given us the land. We can tell by the terror on the people there. They already know they've lost. So the mission of spying had really increased the faith of the Israelites because they saw that God had already prepared the way. And they report back with absolute confidence to Joshua, "The Lord has surely given the whole land into our hands. We will possess the promised land. It's already ours. God has already prepared the way." And the people there know we are coming, and they are afraid because they know the Lord is with us. You can be sure that this word of the spies spread throughout the whole camp, and everyone's faith was increased. We're called to trust in the Lord. And when He calls us to expand our mission for Him, He will prepare the way and give us the victory. All we must do is believe. And so now the Israelites are ready. They're ready to cross the Jordan and to take the promised land, which they've come to understand through their faith that God has already given to them. So tomorrow we're going to start looking at chapter 3, and they're ready now to cross the Jordan. So join us next time for our 5-minute Bible study in the book of Joshua.